Now, where did you grow up? Let's talk about your childhood.
I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. A nice community with my family, and yeah, that's was involved in different sports and whatnot, football, soccer. Wow, shoes. Of course, then I got the wrestling bug, and that stopped everything after, the baseball, a little bit of basketball, like I said, soccer, a little bit of football, but my really interest was wrestling.
And wrestling, that was something you watched as a kid?
Yes, I did. I started watching wrestling probably when I was 13 or 14 years old and tuned into a channel. I think it's still relevant in the Tampa Bay area is WTOG Channel 44, which aired the great championship wrestling from Florida, an iconic show with an iconic announcer, Gordon Soley, the man.
Yes. Definitely one of the all-time great announcers.
Yes.
Lots of people came out of there, that
Yep.
territory.
Yep.
What was it about wrestling that just made you like mesmerized and hooked at
Well,
such a young age?
as far as intriguing me, I mean, I was a magician when I was very young and really thought that was the ticket. But as you know, a lot of kids, I want to be a hockey player, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, whatever. Uh, the magician stuff was pretty cool. I did it for a little while, and I was probably just average, pocket magic, a little bit of stage things. But when I saw this wrestling match between Thunderbolt Patterson and Mr. Clean on Florida Championship Wrestling, that was it. That was it. And then my goal, my dream, my destiny, my journey, whatever you want to call it, it's all on a positive note, Stanley, that I'm going to strive. And what do? I'm going to start wrestling at a youth center in St. Petersburg for free. It's just, when I mean for free, there was no application, there was no enrollment. It was just, the boys club or what have you. And I started there. And then I progressed in junior high, high school, and college. And the thing was, oh, I loved amateur wrestling, but was it in my mind to be an Olympic champion, NCAA, AAU? Sure, it would have been nice. I was good, but not that good as far as that progression went. But that was just the building blocks and the stepping stone to pro wrestling. My thought process was get a background, pay your dues in the amateur ranks, and learn a craft in amateur wrestling, then progress to pro wrestling.
Definitely, there are some similarities between the two because you're doing a lot of mat-based work. And as we know, there have been so many great amateur wrestlers that have transitioned to pro wrestling, talking about Kurt Angle, Brock
Mm-hmm.
Lesnar,
Mm-hmm.
so many other people that have made that transition successfully. Um, what can you tell me about when you finally started training? Because you trained under the great Boris Malenko late
Yes.
and made your debut in the late 70s. I'd imagine when you start training and putting those reps in, it is so hard and it's a kind of different kind of physical work that you're used to.
It is, but at a young age, I was striving. I mean, I had a part-time job. I'd hit the weights, and then I was with the Malenko family, Carl Gotch, Carl von Stronheim, and other special guests that would come in and just show us different things. But that was 3 nights a week, 3 hours a night in a condemned warehouse mattress factory, probably about 104 in the summer and about 40 degrees in the winter. And 40 in Florida in that type of building with just a bathroom and a ring is pretty cold. But before that, let's rewind just a bit. I trained on judo mats before he got that school. So I was bumping and taking bumps from Jody Malenko and various wrestlers on probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 inch judo mats for probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Then we progressed to a 20-foot ring and a 16. And I thought that was a waterbed compared to those mats. So, yeah, I was there a total of 18 months, never missed a workout, never missed a session, ever.
And
And I may be biased, but I was trained by the best. A lot of people say that. I know the wrestling business. I've been doing it professionally since I'm 21. I'm still striving. I'm still relevant. I'm still a part of it, physically, mentally. So yes, it's it was a really big thing as far as getting my craft honed.
Yes. And, it takes a lot of commitment and sacrifice to be able to put the work in.
I'm glad you said that, Stanley. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the commitment,
Okay.
the journey, the dedication, the discipline is a different animal. I mean, if you want to do it, in my eyes, the right way, however people break in or whatnot, or who taught them, that's their deal. I'm just going by my deal. Just like my book is just about me. It's not putting other people over. It's putting me over, but it's about my life and beyond that. So, yes, did I strive? The dieting, discipline, as far as it was all about just lifting, wrestling, striving, reading, watching a lot of wrestling shows. Back then, NWA, Florida Championship Wrestling, Georgia, world class with the Von Erichs, just watching these people. That was, see, in the, with Malenko's, my foundation was built like a house, and I was in the basement. But when you graduate to building the first, second, third bedroom, the attic, the other bathrooms, that's called getting polished on the road. And that's where I went after I basically graduated from Malenko School. He'll tell you when to get boots. He'll tell you when to do this and do that. And I worked some indie shows for a few months under Sunbelt Wrestling. And it was pretty interesting. Again, I was learning and learning. And it just kept on building, kept on going up the stairs, if you will.
Yeah.